Alright, let's see, what have we got here on Tier List Maker? We've got the different races in Skyrim. Cool, this is going to be fun. I am going to be including their backstory, their gameplay mechanics, as well as anything that comes to mind about their appearance. Let's start with the Bretons here. Bretons are mid-tier. You see, they're basically angry Frenchmen that go around complaining about their land being stolen by the Nords. And I would say overall the Bretons have a pretty average appearance. After all, they're a mix between human and elf, which is why they're called Manmer. But what I don't like about their appearance is I don't see any trace of elf in them. You can clearly see that they're a human race, but you don't see how they're also an elf race. They should have had pointy ears or glowing eyes like the elves do. Something that indicates to us that they are of mixed elven heritage. But you really don't see that. So otherwise they just end up looking like regular humans. Now in terms of their gameplay mechanics, the Bretons are not that bad actually. Have you ever fought the Forsworn? They're basically a cult of Bretons who are intent on killing any Nords they find. Which is why they always say, first you, then all of the Reach. Because they want to kill all the Nords in the Reach and take it back. But they're pretty resistant to magic. And the Forsworn Briarheart is enough alone to stop them from being any lower than B tier. What do we have here? Orcs? They literally are the descendants of a talking turd. F tier. Enough about that. Now we have, let's see, what do I want to do next? Here we have the Wood Elves. Admit it, guys, you all love playing as a stealth archer. That's what I do, and they're an ideal race for that. And they're very beautiful, and if you think about it, the ability to make an animal your ally at a moment's notice can really get you out of a pinch because it can take some of the aggro off of you. Easily an A-tier build. Now let's see what else do we have here. Imperials. They find extra money in the chest. But once you find all the stones of Baron Zaya, you can do that on your own. And once you level up, you can start finding more money. Or you can just rob rich people. D tier, nothing incredibly remarkable about them. Khajiit, they lick their own butts, they look disgusting, and they all sound the same. Is there any male Khajiit that doesn't sound like Maik the Liar? Not very much variability in their gameplay mechanics, because every perk that they have, if you invest in illusion magic, you can do it yourself without any issue. There's just no reason to walk around Skyrim this ugly. F tier down there with the garbage orcs. Alright, let's see, what else do we have here? Altmer. They're super full of themselves. When you fight against them, they say one of three things. They'll either say that elven supremacy is the only truth, or I'll see you burn, or I'll end your miserable life. And yes, they get extra magicka, which is useful if you want to play as a mage, or you can just, complete the Winterhold missions and get Savil's Arin's amulet, and there, now you don't need to play as an Altmer. I would say otherwise the Altmer are pretty ugly actually, because, that Altmer in the College of Winterhold talks about her superior good looks, and I'm just thinking, lady, you look like a female Klingon. I wouldn't be talking about how beautiful high elves are. I actually think the only decently looking, somewhat beautiful high elf is probably Naranye in Windhelm. But otherwise, these guys are butt ugly, and they're pretty mid, and they're so full of themselves, I would say C tier at best. At least the Bretons have more variation in their character designs, and that's saying a lot for a human race. Alright, let's see, Redguards. They get more stamina. That's pretty useless because I keep a lot of stamina potions in my pocket anyway. F tier, no reason to ever play as a Redguard. Pretty unremarkable. Now we have the race that the game is based on, Nords. Nords are cold resistant, which, if you think about Skyrim, most of the dungeons contain draugrs that use ice spells, so that's pretty useful, the fact that you're resistant against the main enemies encountered in the game. And on top of that, they have a lot of character design. Their characters are very beautiful. I mean, just look at Maven Blackbriar. Absolutely beautiful character designs. They have so much variation. They don't all look alike. Well, I mean, most of them don't all look alike. You have some where they start to get a little repetitive, but there's so much variation and care put into their designs. and they're so physically strong, and the ability to make all your enemies flee from you is just as useful as the ability to take random animals and make them your ally. In fact, more so. I would actually say that the Nords get high A tier because they are just so awesome. And that is it for the races that are not S tier, because you know where I'm going to put the Argonians. S tier easily. Now, the Argonians, by way of introduction, are quite an interesting race because they disprove the main reason why everyone hates Nords. A lot of people will look at the Nord and say, the Nords are bad because they make racist comments about the Dark Elves in Windhelm. Okay. The Dark Elves literally owned Argonians as slaves. That's a lot worse than just making some racist comments here and there in Windhelm. That's like saying, oh, well, these guys over here, they made a bad comment. They're so bad. Yeah, well, the guys over there literally own slaves. Which one's worse? But think about the Argonians. They can breathe in water. That opens up several different parts of the map that would not be available to normal players without a water-breathing potion or who haven't invested enough skill in alteration magic to be able to cast a water-breathe spell. Think about it, a dragon goes to attack you, just dive underwater and swim far enough in the map away and you totally escape. You're being attacked by a guy you can't beat, jump in the water. And they resist poison. And they regenerate health faster. There's nothing to hate about playing as an Argonian. You see, this is how you do an animal-based build, not this. This is a man-beast with great abilities. This is a nasty little ugly furry. Learn the difference, Bethesda. Learn the difference. Argonians are easily S tier. And now the other S tier race, the Dunmer. The Dunmer are chef's kiss perfection. They are the elven concept absolutely taken to its peak. Think about it. First of all, they resist fire, which is the main attack of most dragons in the game. How often do you fight a dragon and it's a fire-based dragon? You do have the necromancy-based dragons and the ice-based dragons, but the majority of time, they're breathing fire at you, and you can resist it by just being a dark elf. That is amazing. They have powerful magicians in their race. Niloth, Relina Marion. Do I need to go on? Salvos Arum. They even have the strongest warrior ally that you can have with you in the game, and that is the guy that you get after you clear the Ozdal dungeon. I am blanking on his name right now. If you can remember his name, put it in the comments below. But you have the most powerful allies of both magicians and warriors at your disposal. They're beautiful. Look at Relina Marion. Very good design there. Even Niloth is designed very handsomely. A very well designed, very resistant to the most powerful enemies in the game. Raylus Sidaris, that was his name. I am now remembering that warrior that you have. He basically can dual wield and he fights like a Forsworn Briarheart. There is literally no reason not to be a Dunmer, especially if you want to play as a mage build or as a thief build. It's basically everything cool about the Wood Elves and the High Elves taken to the extreme, rolled into one. And that's why I say that the absolute best race to be in Skyrim are Dark Elves, period, end. Not to mention the adversity they went through and they were able to overcome it. Let me know what you think in the comments below.